Governments across this country, on the city, county, state level, and federal, have created a two-tier accounting structure. One, the annual operating budget, the cost side of operating government for the year, the monies they bring in for the year to handle that cost and what they expend. What's being left out is the decades of investment wealth, enterprise ventures, which generate hundreds of billions of dollars each year, which are not inclusive in the budgetary basis. Government has turned into a financial empire across the board. When you look at composite totals of revenue and compare it to the private sector, government currently now is substantially bigger than the private sector. We're standing at about 65% government, 35% the private sector. That's over 53% of the entire open interest of all issued stocks from all exchanges is owned by composite government sources. You won't have one city or county or state owning a phenomenal base in one stock, but you'll have thousands of the different cities, counties, and states owning the composite totals. They own over 51%. So when you look at individual corporations, Xerox Corporation, IBM, AT&T, the primary owners are composite government funds, and it'll be listed as institutional funds. When you see the word institutional funds, that is government monies in most cases. So when you have a supposed public corporation, say 72% owned by composite government funds, I wouldn't call that a public corporation. I would say that's a government operation. Now, with this much money out there, this phenomenal base of wealth, empires that are being built, it was mandatory to keep the public oblivious to what was going on. If the public was aware this type of wealth was being built and obfuscated as tax dollars are being drained out of their pockets where people are citing a shortfall of budgetary revenue, there would have been an uprising 30 years ago. But the government, to perpetuate this game, they needed the 100% cooperation of the syndicated media. That they have. When you look at the financial takeover of the wealth by composite government in this country, it dwarfs the control Russia had in comparison based on that financial control. In fact, did you ever wonder why Gorbachev went democratic? He looked and he said, hey, the boys in the United States have more control than we do, and they're making 10 times as much. What we have here in this country is 100% communism under the guise of a free market capitalist system, because the government owns everything. The principle of operation in this country is the boys running this structure, they keep the chipmunk running on the treadmill chasing the carrot. And as through trickle-down economics, they provide just enough revenue to keep that chipmunk running at optimum proficiency as they tap off 80% of the energy produced. This is not right. The country was established for the public to rule in this country, for prosperity, for our families, education, the whole 9 yards. If you see the country going down the tubes, it's strictly due to the factor that we have greed taking place on an unprecedented level in all levels of city, county, state government, federal government. Empire building, power mongering. The figures are there. We're not talking about any gray area. There's no speculation here. This is outright their figures. This is a massive operation. It's a multi-trillion-dollar organized syndicate of composite government wealth. They needed to keep their own accounting of their own structure. The Comprehensive Annual Financial Report was their accounting. The Comprehensive Annual Financial Report showed the wealth. And the reason it was never mentioned to the public was it did show the wealth. Going back to the chart, this is from Washington's Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, 1998. It gives a 10-year demographics of the revenue taken in a 10-year period. This starts in 1989. This is in millions of dollars. The total taken by the state from the public was $9,514,000,000. Now, as we go through the years, 1990, 91, 92, over to 1998, the total revenue now taken was $18,008,000,000. So we went from $9 billion to $18 billion in a course of 10 years. That's 100% growth. This is ludicrous. The population growth in the state of Washington was approximately 8% during the same time period. And by the way, that is total revenue taken. The budgetary basis for the same period went from $6 billion. It went from $6 billion to approximately $10 billion, $900 million in the same period of time. That's the budgetary basis, but the total revenue taken is $18 billion. So it's a $6 billion disparity between the budgetary basis. So we're not just talking the extent today of how much money government has taken from the public and the decades of wealth that's been building. We're talking also the runaway freight train of growth on the city level, the county level, the state level. If you go back 25 years ago, government was approximately 6 to 8% of the GNP of this country, gross national product, total revenue base. Currently, today, composite government, city, county, state, and federal, is 48% of the GNP based on cash and ownership. This is not right. We fell asleep at the wheel. We allowed it to happen. You have to realize this is the largest organized syndicate, a multi-trillion-dollar organized syndicate with thousands of facets that spends billions of dollars to make sure the public is looking off in right field as they conduct business as usual in left field. You'll see the orchestration in the media on different events, which keep the public spinning their wheels over here, as the boys are making their billions of dollars over here. They laugh every single day. They're becoming wealthy. Empires are being built. The power mongering and the elbow rubbing that takes place here is obscene. And it's not just one group, one organization doing it. It's the principle of operation. That's the bottom line here, folks. We're not talking any gray areas. There's no speculation here. This is black and white. You know, the public has been complaining for the last 25 years. Every problem I've seen in this country to date has to do with extortion of revenue from the public, period. It is the root of evil in this country. The wealth being taken from the populace. And one of the problems here is a lot of people have been looking for the needle in the haystack, trying to find government corruption and wealth being stolen from us. Well, we're not looking for the needle in the haystack here, folks. It's the haystack sitting on top of the needle. All you have to do is look and start adding up the composite figures. Stop being distracted by one leaf or branch or tree in the forest. Start qualifying the forest. And when you do, you'll see the clear and unequivocal financial takeover of the wealth of this country by composite government, right from the city level to the state to the federal level. It's power mongering, it's empire building. The boys that are in there on the inner circle, the wealth is absolute. Basically what the public has done here, I did this, you did this, we all have done this, we left the vault door open. In fact, 95% of the public would say, vault? What vault? And those sharp little crackers said, thank you very much, have a good day.